Hello, my name's Tina McDonald. Thank you for joining me today. In one of our previous videos we talked about different types of counselling, so today I'm going to do a short talk about my type of counselling and that I am a pluralistic counsellor. So pluralism is the theory that I work towards. So you get singular theory counsellors, so you might be a person-centred counsellor who just deals with that one line of thought of way of training. Myself, I work across all theories. So again, you might get a counsellor who is integrated, so they would use 2 or 3 different theoretical backgrounds. A pluralistic counsellor believes that all resources are open to be used. We believe that in the room, in the counselling room, whether it's a virtual room or whether it's an actual room, the expert within the room is you, the client. So the client knows why they've come to counselling. They know if they've had counselling before, what works, what doesn't work. They also know that their life is what they want to take the change back to. So people don't come to counselling in order to be exactly the same when they start as when they finish, because it's a process, it's an understanding of an issue, a culmination of issues, different things that bring different people in through the door for counselling. There is no point in doing that if you want to leave that door exactly the same person. From day to day, we are not exactly the same people, and often if the same subject comes up and it bothers us, sometimes we're able to deal with it, other times we simply aren't. We need to be able to deal with whatever comes up in our life and take those changes back to the way we live and the people around us. So pluralism believes that all theoretical studies can be appropriately used with a client, sometimes more than one within one session, rather than just one theory, and we need to fit your issue into it. What we do is we meet your issue in the middle with what might be appropriate for you at that point in your life with that issue at that point in your life. The other thing that I would often use, not always, again, pluralism is fluid, it moves with you through your dealing with the issue and through your life. So the fluidity allows me to be able to work with you at different paces using different theoretical backgrounds. Sometimes I would also use a timeline, so basically whether you're the other end of the country or you're in the room with me, I would get a piece of paper, I would draw along it. At one end I would put a 0 with a little space before, that's when you were born, what was going on in the house just before, who was around, important people and places, your decision, who goes on that. And then at the other end I would put how old you are now, and then a gap for the future, because that's where we're headed. So along the way you would decide what's going on in primary school. Anything, nothing? Do you have any memories that jump out? Should we pop them on? Any people that are around or no longer around during that time? Did you lose a grandparent? You know, all of those important things that might be important if you decide so. So we would put those on, and then along the top we would look at the goal of your coming to counselling. Now the word goal can be a difficult word. I know when I first started training to be a counsellor, 3 years worth of training, I really struggled with the word goal, because in my other life I'm a business manager, so I have 30 years of experience of working really hard towards sales goals. Goals, aims, whatever the word is, again, pluralism believes that counselling is a process, so therefore we need to decide roughly, can move, ebb and flow through our time together, but you need to decide why you've come to counselling, and that is your goal. I have come to counselling because I want to deal with my grief. I'm not coping with the grieving process. I'm not moving forward. I'm not able to get to a form of acceptance. Whatever it might be, that's what brings you through the door. So that's your goal. Underneath that, we would look at the aims of. So therefore, there might be lots of smaller things. You know, I might need to deal with somebody else who's not dealing with grief along the way. I might deal with my interaction with them. Lots of different things along the way in order to get to the bigger picture. And then between us, again, changing, moving as we go through, we would look at what actual tasks, what are the things that we would need to do? Do we need to talk about this? What about that? So I would be offering constantly. I wonder if it would be good to look at that. I use full body because, again, it's a resource. So when you talk about that person, you get very uptight. I wonder if it would be worthwhile having a look at that person because they change your body language when you speak. Your voice drops to a different pitch, gets very quiet, gets very low when you're talking about that particular period in your life. Would it be helpful for us to just be curious around it? Nothing is set in stone, and that's the joy of pluralism. We have lots of different theoretical backgrounds that we can dip in and out of. When I was training, being completely honest, when I was training, I did wonder, am I going to be, you know, a jack of all trades, master of none, because I'm looking at lots of different things. But to be honest, for me, because everybody is unique in every situation, like say even the same thing coming back into counselling for the same thing you've already dealt with at a different period in your life, that's still a unique moment. You're not the person you were when you were dealing with it before, or maybe again, because we're all human, we all change, and everything right now is already the past. And so for me, I actually realised that it would be too confining to work with one pure theoretical background for lots of different people and lots of different problems. That doesn't mean to say it's not a brilliant thing for others, but for me, I love the fact that we can embrace our unique counselling relationship and us as people. So if for you, you came in to talk about something and along the way it became obvious that might be worthwhile having a look at your childhood, then I could offer you attachment theories from psychodynamics. We could look at how you built your secure attachment, your insecure attachment, how you expected relationships to work out through the learned behaviour of those around you. If, for example, you were having a real problem with a singular issue, so for example, social anxiety, then maybe we could have a look through using some CBT, some cognitive behavioural therapy, looking at some coping strategies, different bits and pieces that would help for that one moment, and you could take that with you, changing your thoughts about a situation or for a phobia. So that could be something that we use, but as a pluralist, instead of just dealing with that problem with CBT, I would then suggest why? Why is it social occasions? What's going on there for you? Would it be helpful to have a look at that? You always have the option to say no, but the curiosity around why that particular set of circumstances lead you to feel a certain way might actually help diffuse the process of what's going on for you. So rather than just saying all social circumstances are terrible for me, I don't want to know why, but we're going to deal with them, that's fine. But maybe it would be helpful to say we have something to deal with them. Now let's have a little look where they come from. Anger management is another one. It's great to have coping strategies, but maybe we need to look through your communication. So for example, I would go to transactional analysis, TA as it's called, And that would look at how do you communicate with the world. Are you communicating as a parent, an adult, or a child? Because sometimes the things that we do now are cycles we've learned from others, or coping strategies we've put in place because of other things, and these all lead us to how we deal with them. So in order to look at things that come from every direction, that are built up in the past, that are part of the future, things that we do on a daily basis, I feel that actually master of all is probably a better description for pluralism, because for you, you might not need me to be an expert of 3 years on one subject. You might just need that one thing in the one session that helps open up the light bulb moment, the engagement with the change that you have came searching for. It was there in yourself all along. And pluralism, because it looks at all resources, it looks at your circle of support at home, it can look at your job, it can look at your relationships, it can look at everything, and it's looking with an open, non-judgmental mind, and it's looking in lots of different ways and finding out, you know, maybe you surprise yourself by doing something that's, you know, more on the kind of the creative side of things, maybe writing, maybe actually looking again at my first point of call, breathing exercises, grounding techniques. So coming along to see a pluralistic counsellor means all resources are open, everything is of value, you're the expert in the room, and our work is fluid. We always make a decision at the very beginning and an assessment, as we talked about before, about the counselling process. You come along, we meet, we decide we can work together, we then have an assessment, and from there we set sessions. Sessions can always be reviewed, and we work with fluidity, and we work with honesty about payments, about when you can manage, timings, all of those things, because all of those things are part of the coping strategies and the opening up of space that counselling allows you to do. So a pluralistic counsellor is a fairly new theory, and it is a theory in itself. It's not just that, you know, you're using little bits from everywhere. It's actually looking at everything with an open mind and dealing you as the person you are, the unique person within your own setting, and looking for change and embracing change together in a safe, therapeutic relationship. So I hope that's given you a little bit of an idea about pluralistic counselling. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I've also got a Facebook page, Tina McDonald Counselling. There's lots of different resources on there, and you can always drop me a message below, and I can get in touch, and we could discuss anything that you need to take the pluralistic theory further, and hopefully you'll subscribe, and you'll be able to get some different waffles. I will be talking in the future about other theories, about single theories, because perhaps that's the kind of counselling you're looking for, or if not, you might be able to embrace the uniqueness that is everything and come along and see a pluralistic counsellor. So once again, thank you for your time. I've been Tina McDonald, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you. Bye-bye.